Nah. I'll wait. Yeah, not gonna like this outfit. Are all board members in attendance? Who's not in attendance?
I believe Tyler. To be honest with you, I don't know who that is. But they said Tyler's not here.
I need to know who all board members not in attendance. Because it's all board members, correct? Cool.
Yeah, if he's not here, he won't have a vote.
I'm not gonna like the outcome of this. Attacked again.
Back at it, ready for another season?
They ain't gonna let me. Boy, the outcome of this is not gonna be favorable for y'all.
Right here. Who's power walking?
Mr. Jake, raise your hand.
You done brought the crew.
Oh man, I tried to do my best. Hey man, what's up, dude?
And you told me you wasn't a board member.
Yeah, tell you I was a
Yeah,
board
you-
member. I just got on. I just got on. I did too.
Well, I tell you,
I did tell you that.
y'all
What do you
not
mean?
gonna
What
like
I did?
this.
What did I say? I didn't tell you that. Am I ready?
Yeah, does Joe have it?
Yes, I do not. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Take notes. Take notes.
Mr. Tyler, thank you for appearing today. This meeting has been called so the board can review whether your public statements violated the league's code of conduct and were detrimental to the best interest of this organization. This is not a debate about team placement, coaching philosophy, or past disagreements. The issue before the board is your decision to make public statements about league officials in a podcast and related posts. In the podcast, you made numerous public statements about league officials and the organization, including describing the league environment and leadership using phrases such as referring to the league as an operating with incompetence, stating that everything looks suspect regarding league evaluations and assessments, claiming the board operates with power and control rather than ethics and morals, stating there is nothing integral about what takes place, saying the league is run by people with small town mentality, small-minded, country-minded stuff from back in the day mentalities, describing the board as a group of people who still think they got power, stating that leadership ain't built like that, and accusing the president of avoiding real conversation and hiding behind a keyboard. Publicly claiming that the league has allowed unsafe environment for your child, claiming that the board members care more about wins than any principles or anything moral or ethical, made gender-based comments criticizing a male coach for letting a female speak for him. The board's code of conduct states parents and spectators agree to not ridicule or demean players, coaches, umpires, or league officials in any public forum. The bylaws also provide that membership may be disciplined, suspended, or terminated for acts or deeds which are contrary to the welfare of the organization or its players, including code of conduct violations and for conduct detrimental to the best interests of the organization. The board is here tonight to determine whether your public statements fall within those provisions. You will now have the opportunity to respond to the general nature of these charges. After you speak, we'll go into a closed session for deliberation and we'll vote. You will be notified in writing within 24 hours of our decision.
Give me a second. All right. Let me ask you directly. You stated I'm here for violating the code of conduct. At what specific moment do you believe that the code of conduct was violated when we talk about demeaning and ridicule? Under the definitions of demeaning and ridicule, I did none of the proceedings. If we so happen to take things in a personal aspect, understand my podcast, I'm entitled to share based off of my First Amendment. First legal right is I have every right to share my opinion on life. That's what I did not say anything demoralizing or demeaning about the league. If I spoke about personal interests, personal situations that we can't speak on, that's not in violation. If you notice, you refer to the code of conduct which prohibits ridiculing and demeaning league officials publicly. Could you point out exactly what language or statement in my podcast or post, as you stated in there, you consider ridiculous or demeaning? Additionally, could you define how you interpreted ridiculous and demeaning in this context? I would also like you to indicate exactly where in my communication with Lewis or Beth you believe such violations occurred. The reality is this: I'm here today because I spoke about the truth. The discomfort of many of you feel is not because I violated any code, but because I continue to address wrongdoings that remain uncorrected. Instead of reflecting on that and adjusting behaviors, the focus seems to be pushing me out. Let's be clear. Whether you see it or not, this comes across as a form of retaliation. I carefully ensure my post did not violate any code of conduct as I did my consulting with people who need to. The conversation referred to 3 individuals, mostly Lewis. If you took that personal offense, I can't control that. But if the leadership is reflecting unethically, lacking as a parent and a community member, I have the right to speak up. This is for one, is a nonprofit organization for the community, and accountability matters. This issue here is simple. You, Lewis, and others are upset because I spoke the truth. There is no violation of conduct in voicing my truth. I have legal, moral, and community rights to protect my child. That's what this is all about. So, if the truth is the issue, then yes, I spoke it. If exposing unethical handling is the issue, then yes, I shared it. Each of you is upset because the mirror was held up. But that doesn't violate any codes. It's accountability. And I will always stand on accountability. My intention has always been to protect my child, be an advocate for a healthy environment, which I've always shared for the youth athletes. And I just want to make sure actions taken is based on written bylaws and applied fairly. So, my question, does the code of conduct prohibit criticism of leadership decision? And this is a question I'm asking. On or only ridicule as harassment, where in the bylaws does it define what constitutes ridicule and demeaning conduct? Also, reflecting off of bylaws that was established in 2012, here it is 2026. Any bylaws, as was stated, being this is an unprecedented event, first time that it occurred, amendments come after. So that's my one question. Can the board identify the exact bylaw section, not the general, because again, none of my actions was ridicule or demeaning. That's what I got to say.
Okay. The only thing I got to say is every answer to your question, she already said what she's afraid. So
It's not in violation of code of conduct,
That's all I got.
and it's not in violation of my First Amendment right. It's not in violation. This is a nonprofit organization, and when we really look at it, we got to think about how this represents as the community. You can clearly look at all the instances that have led up to here. This is a form of retaliation based off of me asking, then why are we here? I should not be here because I share my personal. You had to invite yourself into my space, my personal opinion, my personal feelings, my lifestyle. That's what we do. So there's no code of conduct in violation that we all, because we all can go on our social media and where we address personal things. So again, there's no code of conduct that is violated.
first of all, yes, you did talk poorly about me.
What did I say specifically?
Majority of things you said.
What did I say
were untrue.
specifically?
And
Majority.
It did not happen. So,
What
but
didn't
like
happen?
I said before, we're not here for argument.
But-
We're here
but-
to take your segment. You got your opportunity to say what you had, get off what you chest. We'll take our time.
What did
doing
not
we-
happen? No. If this is a board, you telling me that I'm saying untruths.
You are.
You're the lead. Okay.
You are.
So if I'm saying untruth and I have document factual
Factual on what?
conversation.
You said that they purposely turned the fishing machine down.
No. See, again, that's called interpretation. Because if you
So,
pay attention,
interpretation.
I said because of said situations, it makes people sensitive about said actions. Were my word. It gives people that's what happens when you allow a hostile, because you look at everything suspect, and that's true to nature. I did not say deliberately, because the post is up. You can go back and you can retract. Trust me, and don't worry, I'm fine with that. So no, I did not. I said specifically, it can lead up to a person feeling that, which is true. So that's not true, and I got that documentation. So listen, here's the thing. What happens today is really going to be on a big reflection of the league. I shouldn't even be here because it really is. How do the league handle situations, unprecedented situations? And the first thing that the league does, instead of trying to find ways to grow from it, to build from it, instead what they do is they take the one person that's holding the mirror, because y'all volunteer for this. When you volunteer, I expect, same as when I volunteered, us to give our best. We chose to do this 100%. So that means we're supposed to stand on ethical morals, principles, not personal feelings.
We chose to do this, but we also did not.
I'm just
choose
looking
to
up.
be demean and talk about online.
I did not choose my
That's why
child.
we have that in our bylaws to not talk about us. In
Well, when I come to the president and the league president, I come to multiple presidents, commissioner, league president about said situations prior to, because you got to ask, how did we get here? Yes,
Again, we said we're not talking
No,
about your
but
post.
you're
talking about your post. So
my post is speaking on a situation where I have every right as a community person in a nonprofit organization to talk about policies and procedures. And no one should be in a position because they address policy and procedures to feel like they're going to be pushed out. We all have policies and procedures to follow. So if I'm just addressing things that I see that are a form of injustices, a league, yes they are. I've said what I had to say.
thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm not shaking nobody's hand right now.
All right. Let's go.
Right.
We're done.